Hello everyone, this is CJ Novo 992 and today we are back with another brand new video. Today's video, the voice is nearly gone, which will please some people clicking on to today's video, but I've got just enough left in me to break down, react and discuss to Rangers 3, Motherwell 1. Oh my heart. Because before we go any further on with today's video, can we all just take a step back and try and catch our breaths, because I'm trying to film today's video. My arse is still making the drums fidgemangy. I can't even breathe right now because of all the emotions I went through in that game for the large periods of that game where I was looking at the TV thinking, I wonder if I could jump in it and do a reverse ring type thing. But then I saw a Rangers team change almost like that versus the most defensive and part the bus style team I've ever seen in my entire life. I do apologise to every Kilmarnock fan that may be watching. I say you were the most negative team I've ever seen play against Rangers. I apologise completely, lads, because Motherwell came out there and played a 5-5-0 watch, which, sorry, for the majority of that game was an 8-2. 8-2 wet. 8-2 in no points. Motherwell back up the road to Fir Park because the summer signings went and done things. And that's exactly what I want to talk about first in today's video, because they were signed to come in here and be difference makers in games we wouldn't have won last season. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, every one of them was a difference maker in a game we wouldn't even have drew last season. But before we transition into the game recap and break down what a truly mental game of football this actually was, my reaction to being able to go out there and get that result with the way it went tells me everything about this Rangers team. Was it vintage? Was it the pummeling what we've been doing to teams all season? Not, but it was never ever going to be like this. All this game was a mental test and what they go in the bollocks region, and the way Motherwell set up, they scored early, it just added even more challenges for us to overcome, and we all sat there together watching and waiting for the Rangers team to step up, and that one right there is bigger than any one we've had all season long, because everything was stacked up against us there. But when it was all said and done, when the last whistle went, we had overcame it, scored the goals and picked up what mattered most, and that was all 3 points. But I am as equally delighted as I am relieved now that we've passed that mental test versus Motherwell. And now I've kind of talked enough and calmed the ticker down enough that I can now transition in and speak about this crazy game of football that involved Motherwell this afternoon. And I think going into the game of football, the starting 11 wasn't a surprise. I mean, it was the exact starting 11 I picked in yesterday's video, because that's the kind of guys that is tried and trusted under Steven Gerrard. That is who he backs going in there. Obviously Morelos is suspended and Jax obviously will do it. If they were in, they'd be in there. But the rest of them, there was no surprise. And the way the game started, believe it or not, for the first 4 minutes of the game, it seemed damn positive. Even though the fact that we looked and went, does Motherwell's not playing many strikers? Oh wow, they're literally using their strikers as fullback covers. No, I'm no kidding, ladies and gentlemen. But back to the game recap, we started off well with Jermaine Defoe forcing a fantastic save for Jordan Archer. By the way, yes, he kind of spills it, but it's a clever save because he actually shoots it in between, I think, Gallagher's legs, so it's a difficult one for the goalkeeper. And then a minute or two after that, he also goes a whisker away for making it 1-0 to Rangers. And we were all sitting saying, this is it. Keep the tempo up, ladies and gentlemen. And then the stinger comes after a kind of another long ball to Motherwell, and it originally goes to Barisic, and he actually gives up on the ball because he thinks it's gone out. But Tony Watt, to be fair to him, who was mostly a fullback in this game, just ran his absolute arse off to get that fit ball, and then eventually forces a throw in. And you know what Motherwell was all about. They are dangerous for set pieces. We spoke about that in yesterday's preview, and a throw in near the box is basically a corner for them with the ability they've got at throwing the old ball in. But we actually defend it very well after Connor Goldson gets a big header, and then a little comical bit of error again in the defensive areas as Barisic is caught flat-footed. The ball goes out wide. Once again, Barisic doesn't get out quickly enough. Very reminiscent of the goal we conceded at Easter Road earlier on in the season. And the ball, to be fair to Motherwell, is a fantastic cross, low driven in. But Tavernier, who we've praised so much on the channel, is caught ball watching instead of watching his man, who runs and taps it in. And it is the worst possible start we could ever have had versus a team that was just going to go even further back. Now, I would love nothing more to say after that goal went in for Motherwell. We just started slicing and dicing. That'd be fantastic for these grey hairs, but unfortunately it didn't really happen. There was a lot of side to side passing with us almost like on the field trying to break down how we would get by the 10-men defence in Motherwell. It was very frustrating and it was very Livy-esque earlier on in the season as well. But there was a couple of half opportunities. One where Ryan Kent is very positive, cuts inside, whips a great cross in. Jermaine Defoe flicks the heel at it, and it's another fantastic save for Jordan Archer. And you're thinking, it's one of these days, isn't it? And it certainly appeared to be that way, because 5 minutes after that, another great cross comes in, this time by your man Tavernier. He picks out Ryan Kent free and clear, 6 yards out. But to be fair to him, it is one of the ends. It is a bit of a stretch, and unfortunately it goes just a whisker wide. But that was it for the rest of the half. You might be thinking, oh, did Motherwell have a wee half opportunity? Nah, lads. They just kept punting it back to Alan McGregor. He was in the centre circle of this game more than any Motherwell player. That's ridiculous. That's mental. And that's probably why your TV money is where it's at. Did I accidentally hit the laptop there and nearly break my fingers? You're damn right I did. But the defensive approach for Motherwell and the side-by-side passing from Rangers takes us right into half-time, and you're feeling it. And here, changes just had to be made. I mean, I was screaming for Cedric Itten 15 minutes into this game, because if they were offering nothing going forward, we didn't need free midfielders going side to side. We need people trying to break runs in behind and create some gaps. And thankfully, Gerrard made one very good substitute right at half-time, where he brought on Joe Rebo, who at least started to try and do that, try and pick a pass. But it was these later subs in the game that he got really spot on. And I think that's important to highlight, because Gerrard as a manager has been criticised a lot by his subs. Hell, he was criticised on Wednesday night. But this time in this game, I think he got them absolutely perfectly, because every sub he'd done massively impacted the game. Speaking of massively impacting the game, let's speak about the first substitute that truly turned the game on its head, and it was your man Hagi, who a lot of people has been overlooking and questioning why we've signed the laddie, despite the fact that he's playing barely any minutes, barely any games, and he's still second in the assist charts in the SPFL. But that is why you sign a Hagi. That is why he is here, because when you've got everyone not being able to break a team down and not being able to create space, somebody of that pure ability, and that's what the lad's got. Is he a finished product? Obviously no, but has he got it up here and just got the raw talent? Absolutely. And he went on that park, and literally the second he jogged across that white line, it was a different game, because his intelligence, his movement and his selfless running, even when the ball's on the other end of the park, he's still running about trying to break the defensive line. And you could see the confusion, more importantly, it was doing for this Motherwell defence that was defending so damn well, because the whole game they were just shuffling side to side as Arfield and Davis and Kemar was just all gone side to side. But when you've got Hagi running in there and doing things like that, they're saying, are you taking him? Am I taking him? That started to create gaps, and Rangers started to smell blood. And I thought he'd done very well down the right hand side with your man Tavernier as well, because he started to come alive the second Hagi came on. But despite all that excitement, we were still missing one thing, and that's a bit of aerial threat in the box, because now we were getting forward, we were getting crosses in, but we're crossing it to 5'7" Jermaine Defoe, who's up against Gallagher, who again had a very good game in the AR, and you're thinking to yourself, we need somebody else in there. And he came on, and it was gorgeous. And the equalising goal that came in the 73rd minute of this game was a perfect storm of all of that what we've spoke about in today's video. It had Hagi's running, it had Cedric's height, and it had, more importantly, somebody at the back post. Now, if you follow me on social media and if you follow this channel for a long time, I sit and I rant and I greet the fact that we've never got anyone at the back post when we cross it for Tavernier's side. If we start doing that, we'll have opportunities, and like clockwork, somebody gambled, and it was Ryan Kent, by the way, gambled at the back post. Now, is it lucky the way it hits off him and comes down? Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen. But when you have people in there and you're putting it in the right place, luck actually comes to you. It hits off Ryan Kent, and then full credit to Kemar Roofe, another summer signing, because this isn't an easy finish. He's got to touch, turn and hit this all in a winner, and he does. But it's 1-1 to Rangers, and you could just feel it, that goal, and the team really believed they were coming back in it, because as soon as that ball hit the back of the net, I went, we're getting another one here, because they're blowing out their ass and we're now creating the gaps. And I genuinely couldn't be happier with the way it came about. Once again, a set piece threat. Tavernier took Barisic off the corner kicks, took Ryan Kent off the corner kicks. The last 5 corners we had, the later the game went on, Tavernier, I don't know if many people noticed this, but he took the ball off these players and went, no, It's my responsibility. I love that. Was he at fault, kind of, for the first goal because he didn't mark his man? Absolutely. But did he take the responsibility when the plum's starting to plump? Absolutely. And that's massive for Tavernier. And he whips in a fantastic delivery. And I'm pretty sure Hagi flicks this on. But once again, the back post, people. Hashtag it. We need it in the comments. The back post is your big, beautiful man, Cedric Itten, who diverts his header very well because it isn't an easy one because it literally bounces just ahead of him. There's bodies everywhere, but it's right in the top bin. It's 2-1 to Rangers, and you're thinking, that's it, blow the whistle. And you know what's really funny to look back on now? When we made it 2-1, Motherwell just started making changes for days after already bringing on another centre-half when it was 1-0 to Motherwell late in the second half. They ended up having to bring 3 players off and starting to go for it, and I just thought it was really funny and ironic. 60 seconds before we made it 1-1 in this game, Jordan Archer gets booked for time wasting. They time wasted the entire game, and as soon as we went up in 2-1, you've got their manager going off their nut that we are taking ages with a throw, and I was like, are you serious? But gut check time, ladies and gentlemen. 2-1 up with 5 minutes to go. How would Rangers approach this game now that Motherwell is throwing the kitchen sink to get back in this game? Well, we had 2 very well defended set pieces, which again is always lovely to see right here on the channel. And I just like, again, I know it's boring and it's no sexy or anything like that to talk about, but when we're defending these free kicks, the fact that we aren't going into the box and allowing them for the long punch to get in and around our area, that to me is brilliant confidence and belief in a tight bit of the game. We just stood at the edge of the box and went, right, if you're going to score a header here, it needs to be closer-esque and just be an absolute screamer. It didn't come, we saw it out, and then the game management started to kick in. We went right in at the corner and we just saw the game out. Aribo was huge here. Cedric was brilliant. Hagi was brilliant. Technical players skipping by Motherwell players. Took 6 minutes off the clock if you actually go ahead and check it. And then just when you think the game would end 2-1, Aribo went, I'm just going to show a wee bit of magic right here because Motherwell, I can't remember which centre-back it was. Was it Gallagher? No, I don't think it was Gallagher that got turned inside out, but someone tries to get too tight to him, sorry. Aribo goes, alright son, woohoo, bang, right by him, flips him, tries to find Cedric Itten, who is well defended and well blocked, but the ball drops once again to Kemar Roofe, right place at the right time. And the guy's never missing that. 3-1 to Rangers. Final whistles went. Mental test complete. Character, gut check, anything you want to call it. It was done. Was it gorgeous? No. But is it 3 points? You're damn bloody right. And that's the game recap, ladies and gentlemen. As we mentioned right at the start of today's video, so damn relieved, but so damn happy. And I'll tell you something right now as well. I'm feeling positive after that. And I didn't think I'd be saying that for 65 minutes of that game. Nah, because I was feeling very negative. I was negative for a lot of that game, but the second we made the changes, that is when the game changed, and that is what I'm going to be focusing on, because now we have the belief and the know-how that if teams are going to set up that defensively, we've got quality players there that can change the game, and that's what I've learned for that 3-1 victory over Motherwell. But with that being said, now it's time for me to hand the reins over to you guys. I want to know your thoughts and opinions of that gut check of a performance for Rangers Football Club. Well, you're hopefully down there in the comment section below. By the way, if you could let me know who your man of the match was and what stood out to you in that game, that would be absolutely fantastic. For me, I'm quite tempted to give Hagi it, by the way, just because how much it was night and day, the difference when he came on that part. But I do think they got the official man of the match right. I think Kemar Roofe, right place at the right time with 2 fantastic finishes, and that's why we brought these guys to the football club, to turn losses and draws for previous seasons into 3 points, and they did their job. So I'm going to agree. Kemar Roofe, my official man of the match. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that is everything done and dusted. If you haven't done so already, please consider hitting that subscribe button, and if you have, got involved in the comment section below. I will be talking to you very, very shortly. But as always, before we wrap up today's video, I want to thank you for taking the time out of your day to sit here and talk Rangers things with me. Take care of yourselves, everyone. All the best, and bye.